Hey everyone, welcome to IT Twist. My name is Gaurav. In the last video we have learned about Python dictionaries. In this video we will learn about various loops and iterations in Python. Python has two primitive loops, while loop and for loop. We will see both the loops in action. Before beginning, if you are not subscribed to this channel, please hit the subscribe button below for latest technologies and programming updates. Let's get started. I'm in my Visual Studio Code and we will learn about basics of loops. Consider a list, say nums, having some values like 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, and if I ask you to access each and every element of the list, you might be thinking of accessing by its indexes like 0th index, 1st index, 2nd, 3rd and 4th. But this is not an idle way of doing things, right? So in order to eliminate code complexities, loops are introduced. So let's look at the first loop, which is for loop. Now we will access each and every elements of this list nums using for loop. So how to do that? We used to write for num in nums, and after that we just need to print this num. So this means we are iterating through each and every element of the list, and we are storing that in a temporary variable which is num, and we will print that particular temporary variable which is num in this case. So in the first iteration what will happen? So we have the first number as 1. So when we loop through the first element, this temporary variable will hold the value of 1 and we just print the value of 1. Then we will move on to the next iteration. So next iteration is 2. So this temporary variable will hold the value of 2 and we will just print that 2. And this process will go on till the end of the list. Okay, so in 5, so it will store that particular in the temporary variable and it will print it. So after that we don't have any kind of number left. So this particular loop will get break at that particular point of time and you will just find 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So now let's run this. So we will just execute Python, which is loops.py, and you will find 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Now what if I need to multiply this list by a factor of 2? So how to do that? As we saw, this num will contain the values of 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 in their respective iterations. So we will just multiply this by 2. And we will run again python's loop.py and you will find 2, 4, 6, 8 and 10. So let's comment this for now and we will just create a list of strings. So let me create brands which will contain some brands names like Google, Microsoft and another name. So let's keep it Apple, and after that I will just write for brand in brands. So this brand is a temporary variable which will hold the value of Google, Microsoft and Apple in their respective iterations, and I will print this particular thing by using the print function, and after that I will save this, and when I will run this you will find Google, Microsoft and Apple. So this is the case of the list of the strings. So after that we can even loop through the string. So for example I have a name, so which is, let's say, Gaurav, and after that I will just write a for loop. So for I in name, and what I will do, I will just print this I. So what this temporary variable will hold? It will hold the characters like G, A, U, R, A and V. So when I will save this and I will run this, you will find each and every characters G, A, U, R, A and V. There are two main concepts in loops, that is break and continue. Not only in Python but in all programming languages. Let's understand that concepts. So as of now I am just getting rid of these lines and let me delete that and let me uncomment that. Now let's understand break. What if I want to stop a loop after a specific case? For example, I am printing the variables 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. When I will run this, you will get 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Now just consider a case I want this loop to get break when it reaches 3. So how to do that? So we can achieve this easily by using break statement. So we will make a use of simple if statement. So if num is equal to 3, we will write this break statement. So what will it do? It will just go to this particular loop and go for the first iteration. So it will take 1 and store it in the temporary variable, and it will print this particular temporary variable which will have a value of 1, and then we will check 1 is equal to 3, whether it is equal to 3. It is not, so that's why this break statement will not get executed. So in the next iteration we have 2, so 2 will get stored in the temporary variable, so we will just print this value of 2, and then we will check 2 is equal to 3. It is not, so it will not execute this break statement, and after that it will go to 3, so it will store it in a temporary variable. So we will just print this temporary variable which have the value of 3, and then we will check 3 is equal to 3, which is true, so we will just break the loop. So it will just terminate the loop reaching 3. So when I will just execute this, you will find 1, 2 and 3. So remember, if we want to terminate the loop, we just make a use of break statement. Now after break, we will learn about a new concept which is continue. So continue is basically used for skipping a particular condition. So for example, I have 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 in this list. I just want to skip this 3. So how to do that? So we will make a use of a continue statement. So I will just take this block and I will paste it on the top. I will just replace the break with the continue, and when I will run this, what will happen? You will find 1, 2, 4 and 5. So now let's understand this. So the first iteration happens and the temporary variable will hold the value of 1. So 1 is equal to 3, so it is not, so it will just print this number 1. So it printed 1. So after that it will go to the next iteration which is 2, so it will store it in a temporary variable. So 2 is equal to 3, so it will not execute this continue statement, so it will just go and print this 2. After that it reaches 3, so we store this 3 in the temporary variable of the num. So if the 3 is equal to 3, so it is true, so it will execute this continue statement. So after continue statement it will not execute the next line, it will just go to the next iteration for 4, and it will just store this 4 in the temporary variables, and the process goes on. So that's why we just got 1, 2, 4 and 5 here. So if you want to skip the current iteration, continue statements are used. Let's move to the next concept. So I am just removing these lines of code. So suppose we have one scenario, we want to print a range of values in Python. How to do that? Through loops. So we will write for I in range, and we will specify some range, the stopping value. So we will just write 10. So it will return a 10 item starting from 0, and when I will print this particular I, the temporary variable, so you will find the values which are total 10 starting from 0. As of now, we just specify one parameter which is the stopping value. So when you will see the output, it is 0, 1, 2, 3, so on up to 9. So you will see the 9 is not included. So for example, if I specify over here 9, you will see 0 to 8. And similarly, we can specify the starting values as well. So we can specify starting value like 3 to 9. So this is the starting value and this is the ending value. Okay, and the ending value is not included, it is excluded basically. So when I will run this, you will find 0, 1, 2, 3, so on up to 8. So 9 is not included. In the similar manner, we can just specify the count as well. As of now, it is incremented by 1. So we can specify the incremented count as well. So we can specify the range. For example, I just want to increment it by 2. So when I will run this, you will find 3, 5 and 7. Moving ahead, likewise in if else, in for loop also we can specify an else case. As you can see, the temporary value will always hold the value of the current element in the iteration. When that current element will get none, this else condition will get fired. So we will just write the else statement here, and we will just print, just say none, condition is satisfied, So now let's understand this. So when for loop will get executed, the I will hold the value of 3 and we are printing the value of 3. So 3 came here. After that it will increment the count by 2. So 3 plus 2 is 5. So I will hold the value of 5 and it will print the value of 5 here. And after that it will increment it again 5 plus 2. So again the I value will be 7. So it will print here 7, and after that it again incremented the count by 2, so it will hold the value of 9. So 9 is not possible because it is not included. I will get none. So after that this else statement will get executed. So when I will run this, you will find 3 5 7, none condition is satisfied. Apart from for loop, we also have while loop. With the help of while loop, we can execute a set of statements as long as condition is true. So let's see that in action. So I am just deleting these lines and we will just define one variable, let's say start, and it will hold the value of say 20, and after that we will say while this start is less than 30, what we will do, we will just say print this start, and after that we will just increment this start by say value of 5, and after that when we will execute this you will see 20 and 25. So what will happen, so starting value is 20, so this start is 20 is less than 30, so it will print the value of 20. So start will become 20 plus 5, which is 25. So after that this 25 is less than 30, so it will print this 25, and after that this 25 will get incremented by 5, so start will hold the value of 30. So after that 30 is less than 30, so it is false, so these conditions are not executed. So that's it for the loops. If you have any queries or suggestions, please comment in the comment section below. See you in the next video. Thanks a lot. Thanks for watching.